Hello.
Hi, 1 second. This is Vivian from Popcorn Hub. Ali's given me the link, so I'm just literally trying to get it started.
Something's happening.
There we go.
There we go.
Hello. How are you?
Doing? Really good, thank you.
Nice to see you.
Lovely to see you. Another lockdown.
Well, it is for you. In Scotland, I'm up in Scotland, so it's still
Oh,
a bit
really? Okay,
all over the place. So basically, my main problem is the fact that the restaurants and bars are only open from 12 till 6 and they don't serve any alcohol.
They don't at all.
No. So it's really bizarre.
That's
and then
strange.
Because I'm in the central belt, that's the way it is. And then out with, so sort of the north of Scotland and the very south of Scotland, places are open, I think, till 10 o'clock. But I think you're only allowed to drink outside. And at the end of the day, who wants to drink outside in Scotland?
Oh my gosh, what a weird world we're living in.
It really is. So thanks so much for talking to us today.
Cool.
It's all very exciting.
I know. I still have yet to play the game. Coming out soon, so I'm very eager to see what it's like to date myself, really.
Well, absolutely. So tell us, firstly, for those people who don't know about 5 Dates, can you tell them just a little bit about what the film's about?
Well, the tricky thing is there's many possible endings, so you can sort of choose how the storyline progresses. It's basically about the premise is dating in lockdown. So, you know, Vinny is dating all these different girls, and everyone brings a different thing to the table. And I suppose the exciting thing is there really is no ending. Like, you have complete control. And I did one interactive thing with Paul, who directed and wrote this.
Right.
So I did have a concept of interactive stuff before this, like having the audience choose.
Amazing.
But it was strange for me because as a character, if you know the ending, you know what you're working towards. And there was no structured ending. So but yeah, the premise is just dating in lockdown, and it was all, you know, filmed from our homes.
Amazing. So in terms, I've got so many questions about the actual filming process itself. In terms of, firstly, how it all came about, how did Paul get in touch with you, or was there a casting process, or
because I'd worked with Paul before, so he got in contact with me and was like, do you want to play this role? And he sent me the script, and I was like, yeah, absolutely. I was in lockdown, so I was like, this is amazing that something's happening, there's work. And B, I trust Paul's vision always. And the character was fun. I've never played a character like that before. She reminds me of actually me in real life. I'm very
amazing.
To the point. She knows exactly what she wants, and she was like a badass lawyer, and I was like, this is amazing, such a fun character. So that's how it originally came about.
That's so cool. So in terms of the actual filmmaking process, is it right enough that you were all sent your own kits?
Yeah, so we were sent microphones, costume. I had literally an earpiece in my ear with the director and the AD, and we had our Zoom on, and they gave us bulbs that we had to do the lighting. I mean, it was actually amazing to be able to delve into all those different things. You know, I was doing my makeup touches and things like that. And I've been on set for many years, so I sort of knew-ish what I was doing. But I have to say, actually, the concept of working all day in my apartment and being able to use my own bathroom and go to my bed, like, I've worked in the most extreme, like doing Vikings, the most extreme weather conditions you could possibly imagine. And this was actually, the luxury of working from home was such a novelty, but I'm so glad I actually got to experience it. I don't think anyone probably else, but that many people have got to experience filming like that.
Absolutely. I suppose it's a crash course in filmmaking, really, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. I was glad I had some experience, so I sort of knew what I was doing, but I'm very technically bad. Like, I don't know how to even turn on my computer. So I was very worried that I wouldn't be able to pick it up the technical side, but they made it really, really simple. And I was sort of downloading software onto, you know, Drive and all these kinds of things. So I made it work.
know, well done. That's so cool. No, I totally, I'm an actress as well. And just when you were talking about working in extreme conditions, I had a flashback to filming something 2 years ago, and we were filming in an old airfield. And there was one old spooky toilet, and you had to bring a torch with you to go to the toilet because the light didn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, we really go through it all, don't we?
I know. Things like that you think about. Like, I realized when I was filming this, I was like, I'm lucky. Could be worse.
It's so good. So how long did it take you to film your scenes?
So I had about 3 days of filming, so super quick. But you wouldn't believe, I mean, when I first got sent the script, I was like, okay, I started flicking through and I was like, okay, quite a lot of pages. And then I actually realized I hadn't learnt. That was like one scene with all the different endings. So there was a lot of dialogue to fit in those few days. So we literally filmed all day, took an hour lunch break. So everything was over and done with quite quickly. But I mean, I can only imagine Taheen, who plays the lead, I can only imagine how much stuff he had to learn. I mean, it was insane. But yeah, I did 3 days. I kind of popped in and popped out. So
that's great. And you were saying that so you basically had an earpiece. So they were watching you over Zoom as you acted and gave you directions.
Yeah.
That's so good that they were able to do that in live time, because I've spoken to a few people who have been, making things over lockdown, and they've literally had a quick Zoom call. The directors told them what to do. Then they've gone off and done it and then sent the footage over and got feedback. So your way is so much better.
Yeah, that would be quite tricky, I think. It's so I don't like a director that's I tend to not want a director that's too involved. I mean, it kind of depends on the scene. But with this, it was kind of nice to have your own creative license, but to have someone saying like, try it this way. I always like a bit of encouragement along the way. So I think I would feel quite lost if I didn't have that bit of interaction.
Totally. Yeah, I'm like that too. I always need reassurance that it's okay and they're happy. Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure that it's okay to move on to the next scene? No, that's amazing. So the concept of dating whilst playing a console game is very, very new. Do you think this is something that's going to take off in the future?
I think, first of all, interactive stuff is literally the future. I feel like this is the way everything's going to go. First it was there were movies, then everyone moved on to Netflix watching on their computers, and now everyone sort of wants to be involved and make decisions about, about all the characters. And I certainly think that's going to be the future of TV and film. But also, obviously, the concept of dating in lockdown was just something on everyone's lips when we went into lockdown. I mean, I had a sister who had just come out of a relationship, and she, I was filming this and we were discussing it, and I was asking her, information like, would you do this? Would this be something you would do if you were in lockdown? Would you go on a virtual thing? And I think it was just such a relevant topic. And lockdown is still, I mean, it's happening for us now. So I think it was something that's really, really relative. And I'm sure that this will spark a lot more inspiration for people to explore this, because it is, it's what people are going through right now. I mean, definitely, people can watch it and relate and be like, oh my gosh, that was me. Like, that's what I do to meet new people. So yeah.
No, totally, it is. It's so relevant. I mean, I'm finding now, I was on a work Zoom call the other day, a briefing for an event, a virtual event I was working at. And after the training finished, a few of us just stayed on the Zoom call because we were saying it's so nice to actually just sit and talk to other people.
Yeah.
Not just the people in our house.
Exactly. Yeah, we did that.
It's bizarre.
We did the last day that I wrapped, we finished all of it early and we all got a glass of wine separately and all just chatted after we were filming, because we were like, this is so exciting. It's like the most socializing we've had in like 4 or 5 months.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that was so fun.
No, it's totally bizarre. I mean, in terms of dating, do you think that virtual's better than meeting someone face to face? What do you think are the pros and cons of each? Which would you prefer?
I think I've been with my boyfriend for yonks, and we met when we were like 14. So slightly different for me, because I would say face to face. However, things change so much these days. I have friends, my best friend met her boyfriend, they've been together like years and they live together, and they met on Tinder.
Wow.
So I think it certainly can happen. You just have to meet the right person. And I think you have to be kind of selective with who you choose. But I mean, it's probably the future, let's be honest. If we're going to continue, I mean, things like this pandemic has taught me, like, actually, there's no guarantees. You never know what's going to happen. So I would never, ever rule it out. But obviously, the luxury of meeting someone in person seems to be sort of dwindling right now. So I would say take whatever socializing and meeting people you can get. And if that means going online, then why not?
No, definitely. I totally agree. I think people sometimes when they're online, it's almost like they feel they can be themselves a bit more because they're in their own surroundings, they're in their house. You know, what you were saying about the film itself, you know, you've got your home comfort, so you can just kind of chill. And
that's true. I didn't think about that. Yeah,
it's a funny one, but then it is always nice to actually meet someone and see if there's chemistry and all that sort of stuff.
You just don't know on over this, I don't think. Like,
totally.
You know, you'd have to see them face to face to make an assessment.
Absolutely. So in terms of the actual film itself, what are the plans for it? Is it going to be released? Is it?
Yeah, so it's going to be on Nintendo Switch, Xbox and PlayStation.
Fabulous.
And I'm desperate to get, I mean, I don't have a console. My boyfriend and my brother, I'm like, I don't suppose my brother really wants to date me. But my boyfriend, I reckon, is a good route to go down. So, but I'm desperate to get on and see. I actually want to see what the other characters were doing because I wasn't sent their script. I was only sent my section. So I'd love to know the dynamic between the other actors and the lead and see kind of what relationships they all had, because I was so sort of focused on mine for those few days. So I think I will go on it and play the game, but I'll avoid
definitely. It'd be quite funny to see what it'd be like to date yourself.
I know, but I just think
or your character.
Yeah, I know. I should give it a go.
It'd be fun. I know, it's amazing. So that's really exciting. It's sort of a brand new concept really altogether, sort of crossing film and gaming. So you'll have a double the audience as well, I'm sure.
I know.
So
and
cool.
I would love to, it's fun to kind of branch into that other world. Because I mean, also a dream would be like to be in a video game or something, like an actor on a really stunt heavy video game. So I feel like this is kind of venturing into that part of my career, which
definitely. Lockdown's done you a favour by opening new doors.
Who would have known?
So are you going to be working with Paul again on something else?
I hope so. We did a pilot for something which I can't talk about like a year and a bit ago. And obviously this was our second thing we've done together, and we just have a really good working relationship. Like, he can be totally honest with me. I can send him a million script amendments and be like, help me, I think we should change this. And we just have a really good communication with each other. So I would 100% love to work with him again. He's so talented. Yeah, fingers crossed.
Well, that's awesome. So, and your other huge claim to fame is obviously Vikings. Now, am I right in thinking that Vikings is over now? That was the final season.
No, there's another season.
Oh, is there? Amazing.
Yeah, there's
well, that's good.
I think my most asked question is, when is the next season out? And I'm as much kept in the dark as so I've been told it'll be next year, beginning of next year sometime. So
that's amazing.
As soon as the date is released, I'll be posting it all over my social media. But I think with COVID and everything, it just left like a bigger delay on getting everything finished and sorted. But it'll be probably the best season yet, I would say. So
absolutely. No, definitely. So in terms, I keep saying in terms, I don't know what's wrong with me today. In terms of, it's like everyone has their, I used to have keywords which would be fabulous. Everything's fabulous. And today I'm finding myself saying in terms.
Well, no, it's not bad. It could be worse. I mean,
it's so strange. It's like I've got Tourette's with. In terms of this, in terms of that, I was going to say, are you going to be working with your dad again on something else? Is there anything you would like to maybe co-write with your dad?
Never say never. I mean, you never know what happens. I think the thing is with my dad is that he obviously loves history stuff, and while it was amazing to be in Vikings, I would love to do some more contemporary stuff. I'd love to do comedy, and I do ask him a lot of the time, like, would you write a comedy with me? But it's just not his thing. So in terms of writing something together, probably not. However, I would love to work with him again. Again, we had a really solid working relationship, and he is so talented and allowed all of us actors to have license on the script and change things if we feel we needed. So
that's such a luxury, isn't it? To be able to do that. It's great.
Yeah, I'd work with him again. However, it was so nice the projects I've done since Vikings, actually not having a relative in the show was quite a breath of fresh air to be able to be doing it on my own. So while I would love to, I'd never say no. His scripts are always amazing. I'm happy kind of figuring out my own journey.
So that's awesome. So do you think that you will try doing some writing for yourself then and try and develop something?
I'm not sure I have the writing thing. Yeah, I have tried. I have a lot of talented friends that I met at drama school who are bound to be crazy successful actors and writers that always say to me, like, come and write something with me. And I'm just not sure I have I could probably sit in a writing room and come up with some sort of scenarios, but in terms of the actual writing, I'm not sure that's my strength. But, you know, it might happen when I'm older and I might sort of, you know, discover it's something that I'm passionate about. But for now, I have to say I'd like to be in front of the camera. That's kind of where my passion is. For now, you never know.
No, that makes complete sense. So what do you think your dream role would be? If someone, you know, if a fairy godmother was to come down and say, today I'm going to wish you the role of your dreams, what do you think you would pick? You never know, stranger things have happened.
Yeah, I know. There would be, it's one of two. One would be a sort of Marvel character / Lara Croft, like really stunt heavy, physical. I've always dreamt, I mean, I had to be in pretty good shape for Vikings because it was very stunt heavy, but I would say my dream would be to have to get into crazy shape for something and to really have something to work towards. I love doing stunts. So something like that would be amazing. But also, as I said, like a really contemporary sort of comedy script, I would also love to do. I know it's questionable, Emily in Paris, the new Netflix show. Everyone has something to say about it, but something so light and airy, like I've never got to play that. Like Vikings was very serious. All the roles I've played have been quite serious. And I wouldn't mind doing something so different, something light and a bit funny and sort of carefree. So I'd really say yes to anything, but it would be one of those two, either really stunt heavy or a sort of comedy, kind of a chick flick kind of thing. I would love to try it all.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. I hate this. I find that so many actors, they just get pigeonholed into playing the same type of character in the same genre over and over again. And I often think that being an actor is all about acting and showing how many different kinds of characters you can play.
It's hard for me because I was in Vikings for so long, and so I am thought of always as that character. So I did a movie after Vikings and they, you know, had to dye my hair brown, and they were like, we don't want you to look recognizable because everyone knows you as that. So that does, you know, instantly sort of pigeonhole you when you've played a character for so long. So that's why, in a way, I probably want to do something so different to show that I'm capable of doing something different. And a lot of people haven't even seen the beginning of it, I don't think, my acting. So
no, it's exciting.
Yeah.
No, it is. And then of course there's other actors that just seem to sail along, you know, their careers just playing themselves.
I know, which also, but I don't think I'm interested enough to play myself. So I definitely always love to add an accent or something to make me not like myself. You know, the whole point with acting is that I can be someone else for a day or for a week or for a year. And that to me is so fun. Like that's part of what I love doing.
Yeah.
I'm used to being myself. Like I can play someone else for a bit of fun, you know.
I agree. I think it's all about, you know, going over boundaries and saying to people, look, I can play. I mean, I remember once I played a drug addict and everybody thought it was hilarious because I was always pigeonholed as Vivian with the blonde hair and wears pink all the time. And I played this heroin addict and they were like, whoa, did not expect that. And I think that's just great to surprise people as well and say, I can do this.
Yeah. So hopefully a role will come along and I'll be able to surprise everyone.
Absolutely. So what's next for you?
Well, because of lockdown, obviously it's limited so much of the auditions and it's limited, you know, productions that are able to go ahead and film. So for the time being, I have been doing a little bit of modeling. Can you believe it? I did the Topshop fall campaign, which was very exciting.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm not a model, but apparently they wanted me there.
You are now.
Yeah, I am now, apparently. So I work for my charity Lady Garden, which raises awareness for cervical cancer. And I've kind of been doing things that that broadened my horizons a little bit. Obviously, acting is my passion, but
Yes.
given the circumstances in this world, there's no guarantees of what's going to be happening. So I hope by the time January sort of rolls around, things will pick up again, and I'll, get back into the studio and start, auditioning and getting roles. But until then, I'm just going to focus on like what I can do and, try and give back in some ways as well.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Yeah, I think it's funny, the lockdown seems to have done a lot of people some good favors, just in that it's given them time to concentrate on what they actually want to concentrate on and learn new skills.
Yeah. And I'm happy
to language.
yeah, exactly. I'm happy to be with my family while this is all happening, because next time I get a job, with Vikings, I was in Dublin for 6 years. So I always welcome time with my friends and my family. So I'm just going to enjoy that. And then, next year, I'm sure some crazy stuff will happen. So I'll gear up for that.
No, absolutely fantastic. I believe I'm only with you until now. Is it 12:50? We were to wrap up.
15 minutes, I think.
Was it? Okay. Oh well.
No, I could be
wrong.
I
think I don't know. I had it on my email that it was 12:50. So I should probably wrap up. But it was so lovely to speak to you, Georgia. It was really nice. Just to have a good chat, and all the best with 5 dates and everything else. And I'll be looking at the Topshop campaign and looking out for everything else that you have coming out. It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely rest of your day.
I will. And it's actually sunny in Glasgow at the moment, so I might go on a walk.
Here as well. Yeah, do
it. Exciting. But anyway, thanks again and have a fantastic day. I think I just need to end this.
You need anything to do? Okay.
See you later. Bye.